Hello, hello, hello. It is week 2 of Tea and Truth with Karen Booth. And here I am, week 2 of the new year for our broadcast. How is everyone doing? This is what I need for you to do. I see somebody has hearted, and it was not me, so I did not heart my own broadcast. Hey, girl, hey. This is what I need for you to do. I need for you to come in, say hey, tell me where you are, and tell me what's in your cup. Where you're living, where you're at, what you're doing, like live from the grocery store, live from I don't know, wherever you are, and what's in your cup. Hey, Robin, do you have anything in your cup this afternoon? All right, all right, all right, all right. Oh, I see I got about 4 people. Come on in the room, y'all. I certainly have missed you. I certainly have missed you. Come on, water in my cup. All right. I'm going to cut my phone off so that won't be interfering with the signal. That's right, Michelle. That's right, Michelle. Call it like it is. Call it like it is. From your temporary residence in Maryland. That's right. I need for y'all to like, tag, and share, please. Like, tag, and share. I think my bag popped. Let me take it out. So I won't get a whole bunch more trash in here. Well, it's not trash. It's tea flakes. At any rate, I have green tea with elderberry and peach tea. That's what I have. Honey, lemon, always honey and lemon. The variance is which tea bag I'm going to pull out of my pantry. So welcome to Tea and Truth with Karen Booth. I am Karen, the baggage handler, and I help you clear out the baggage that is lodged in your soul. And so this week, we are going to actually address directly forgiveness and the soul. What does that mean, Karen? I'm so glad you asked. So, what I have learned, the first thing that I learned about the soul was so many years ago, and it was in a book. I hadn't read the whole book, but my pastor at the time did a teaching out of this book called The Soul of a Man by Watchman Nee. Hey, Chelsea! The Soul of a Man by Watchman Nee. And so he taught us about the components of the soul, how it functioned, all of this. And in that teaching, I learned that the soul is, it carries all of your experiences, all of your personality, all of that, right? So as I've done further soul work, of course, you find how your decisions and your experiences and your upbringing, all these things help you. Well, they don't help you. They just end up making up what exists in your soul. So, for clarity, let me say this. When you have all these things laying there in your soul, it impacts your behavior, it impacts your thoughts, it impacts all the things that make you you. And excuse me, sometimes you make decisions based on all of that rather than based on maybe what God would have you to do, right? So here's where we're starting this week. So for those of you who don't know, we are going to talk about what the soul is. The soul includes your mind. Your brain is the organ. Your mind is the thoughts and the memories and the mental replay. So it includes your mind. It includes your will, your choices, your resistance and your control, your emotions, which is your feelings, reactions, and sensitivities, your intellect, which is reasoning, interpretation, and meaning, and your imagination, your expectation, anticipation, and inner pictures. All right. So last week I told you what the definition of forgiveness is, right? And that is to choose, to make the choice to stop letting your feelings, your emotions, your reactions, your sensitivities be noticeably changed because you hold anger, hostility, thoughts of ill will towards someone or some group that you have perceived that has wronged, injured, or insulted or harmed you in some way, right? So it's basically to choose to release. That's what the Bible calls it. It's release of a debt, release of the emotional repayment, release of the need for them to come and say, "Oh, I was wrong. I'm sorry." All the things, all the penance that we want people to pay when we are living in this state of offense, right? So also from that thing that harmed you, excuse me, you make decisions from that place of hurt. You know, I ain't never gonna tell nobody nothing never again about me. I ain't gonna never. This is what we say. This is not this has been my truth. Hopefully it is not my truth now. I try not to live in that anymore. I ain't gonna never. She ain't got to worry about me ever. You know, I'm gonna handle this on my own. I got it. I'm gonna protect me. I'm gonna take care of me. That's what we do. That's what we do. I've done it. I can remember multiple times when I said stuff like that. Not good decisions. Not good decisions. Not at all. Because then you're making all these internal vows and you're making, allegiance to things that may not be of God. Whole nother lesson, right? So this week we're going to talk about those types of things. Our scriptural anchor is going to be Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Everything you do flows from it. Those decisions, those I ain't gonna, yeah, all that, what you ain't gonna do, all that, though. In this particular scripture, the heart refers to your inner life, your thoughts, your decisions, your intentions, not just your emotions. Because you're in this state of unforgiveness because your emotions have already been impacted. Your feelings are already hurt. You're already mad because of something someone said, did, some action, something like that. You're already in that space. So, close. I'm sorry, I knocked my plug out of my laptop. Let me get that back together. So you're already in that space of you've made this decision of what you are and what you aren't going to do. Now, what was that decision based on? Was that decision based on a conversation that you had in prayer? Was that decision based on, Lord, what should I, like the quick one? Lord, what should I do? Because you're in life and you just can't really be all the time. Let me go into my prayer closet for 30 minutes. Sometimes somebody has irked your nerve right there on the job, and you have to determine right there in that minute, do we act a donkey or do we forgive? Or do we forgive? Ish. Or do we forgive and let God handle our hurt feelings? Do we forgive and let God handle the consequences for the person that harmed us? Right? So this week we're going to talk about the soul and the different areas that the soul has, and how unforgiveness impacts each one of them. So emotions will signal the wound, but the soul decides how we live afterwards. We're not trying to fix the soul yet, but or judge the soul, but we're going to try to notice what it's been carrying, right? Because what happens is you have somebody does something to you. You got all this stuff in your soul. Somebody does something to you. And so then you have these emotions, these thoughts, these things, the I ain't gonna nevers. And then from that, it determines your behavior. It determines how you're going to act. It determines whether or not you're going to forgive. It determines whether or not you're going to go and do something. And then this is the part. This is the part that we want to impact the most, is the results. So we want to impact the behavior. We want to address what the soul is carrying. We want to address what the soul is, address what the soul is carrying, and perhaps give some tools that will help you to adjust your behavior so that you get different results. I told y'all last week about this time when I was working at my government job before I retired. And this woman kept talking to me real ignorant, like she was not handling me properly. And I sat there and I looked at all that, and I had a ways to walk to get to her. And that day, I decided I'm taking this walk. I am taking this walk, and I called her away from her space, and I let her have it quietly because I didn't want security to come get me quietly, but I let her have it. Now, the consequences of that, I didn't get wrote up. I didn't get nothing like that. But what I got was a reputation that sometimes I have a very distinct RBF, if you know what the resting face is. Um, I have one when I'm not smiling. And so what I gave people was proof that that middle word, yes, she has a tendency to be that way. And so that could have impacted my progression within that agency, right? And so perhaps I should have chosen a different kind of way to to handle that. But I was also in a space of Ain't nobody never gonna do such and so to me no more, never again, because I was taking care of everything and I was gonna handle it. And what you ain't gonna never do is, you see, because there was some other stuff that I needed to have forgiven way before then that I was just carrying unaddressed, unattended, just in there in my soul, right? So this is the reason why I'm putting all these informative videos out in the world for the people to see so that I can help you not have to go through some of the stuff I went through and to help you be able to walk. Hey, Miss Tina, and to be able to help you walk through your life and receive and enjoy all the things that God has for you. Okay? So that that is my time for today. That is my time for today. Again, this week is on forgiveness in the soul. Y'all, it's 4:30 every day, Monday through Friday, unless I otherwise announce it, because sometimes my life causes things to shift. But every day, Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So tag a neighbor, tag a friend, share the video, and come back for Tea and Truth with Karen Booth on tomorrow, where we're going to talk about forgiveness and the soul and how it impacts the mind. Not the brain, the mind. All right. Y'all have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.